What's up, guys? Dave here. Here we go. Little fight bananas. I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to try to do this at least once a day, once every other day. Give 10 minutes of the what just broke or maybe a very cool topic. So, of course, just broke 5 hours ago, 6 hours ago, very early in the AM here, especially here on the East Coast. You know, I'm a Florida guy. We have a main event, UFC Orlando, December 3rd, the Amway Center, place that I have been over 25 times in my lifetime for numerous events, concerts, basketball, wrestling, UFC as well. So here we go, guys. Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson versus the recently retired Kevin Holland. And that's our welterweight main event for December 3rd, UFC Fight Night, Orlando. Let's kind of get into it. And then I have something fun on the back end about, is this the main event worthy match that Dana was talking about? One is very cool matchup, unique, different, something that wasn't on the radar maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago, a year ago, year and a half. So I like it. I like it. It's a good matchup. I'm fine with it. Wonder Boy's getting a little long in the tooth now. Let's just be honest. He's getting a little older in age. I looked at past his last 6 or 8, and I know he had that unbelievable him versus Woodley back and forth. And he has only fought the toughest of the tough guys. His losses are to Gilbert Burns, right? And to Bilal Muhammad's, and sometimes it's not the right matchup for him. Let's just kind of say that. If he still one of the most dangerous strikers, very confusing guy to fight, and I think this is a great matchup. I think the matchmaking right here is just on point because Kevin Holland, who, let's just be honest, did a solid for the UFC, and I will get into that in a second, a couple weeks ago for UFC 279 with Chimaev and Diaz, right? So he just fought Chimaev, didn't go his way, was probably just the worst that fight could go. It had a grudge match, a rivalry going into it, try to do the, the hand thing. And then Chimaev says, no go here, guys. We are not going to do that here in this house. I'm going to take you down and submit him in a minute and a half. That's what happened. Ever since that fight, Holland said, I'm going to retire. I'm done. All this. I never believed it. Kevin Holland's 29 years young. To me, in the absolute prime of his career, he was the fighter 2 years ago in the UFC, 4 wins in 1 calendar year. The middleweight was probably not great for him. And also with wrestlers, that's his kryptonite. So he moves down to welterweight, wins 2 fights in a row. This is in welterweight, and this is in a wrestle. This is a great matchup for Kevin Holland. To be brutally honest, I think this is a win for Kevin Holland. And this is a thank you from the UFC out of everyone. We always talk about what Lee did that night and that weekend of UFC 279 and what he did. Even Kevin Holland, guys. Kevin Holland had a big time matchup, was the favorite going into that night, and then all of a sudden gets matched up with Khamzat Chimaev. No one wants to fight him. Was a humongous underdog going into that fight. And like I said, the exact kryptonite of Kevin Holland. So I think the UFC does an absolute solid for the Trailblazer for Kevin Holland. Great main event. Really good main event. I like it. It's unique. It's a different fight. It's a fight night in Orlando, and Orlando needed one more fight. So I like that a lot. Before I get to the hook here, quick shout out, top left corner right there, guys, the MMA Shark. Let me do that again. There we go. Oh, there we go. Guys, I'm going to put in the code. You go on Bananas25, and he's an MMA handicapper. It's my guy, Paul, guys. Great guy. I love talking to him, love dealing with him. I hope we fight Bananas and MMA Shark for 10, 15 years. Just like dealing with the guy a lot. The things that I'm getting is that it's, wait, I have to pay for getting MMA picks? And yes, you have to pay to be with the MMA Sharks subtext. It's awesome. You get these texts the night of the fight, the morning of the fight, even hours, 30 minutes before the fight when he feels or sees something happening during the show. And one thing that MMA Shark, and guys, with the bonus, it's literally peanuts. It's literally if you just bet 1 unit on it, you'll win it right back. Not even one show. Stick with MMA Shark. Stick with Paul for a month. Stick with MMA Shark for a quarter. And I'm telling you, I guarantee that you will be ahead. He's over 300 units. Paul's over 300 units winning. I'm telling you, it's just one of those no-brainers. I'm doing it. You have to stick with Paul with the MMA Shark. If you want to win money and you want to bet on mixed martial arts, And my guy, Paul, he doesn't just bet on the UFC fights. He bets on Invicta, guys. He bets on LFA. He bets on Bellator. Of course, any kind of big boxing fight happens. So you got to go to the MMAshark.com right now and put in the code bananas25. So go do that right now. So Wonder Boy and Holland is the main event of UFC Orlando. And on the card is almost booked. It's booked. I talked to Jillian Savage Robertson. Mike Cuddles, the episode 20 just dropped. And she was told by the UFC matchmakers, that card is full. It's booked. No more fights are being added to it. There was another female fight that just got added to it. We hear our guy Phil Rowe from Orlando is going to be added to it, and a couple possible matchups there. But I don't think anything else. And the first fight that was announced for the show, and even before it was the UFC Orlando show, was a big pivotal middleweight matchup. Not a number one contender, but right outside of it. The middleweight's getting really, really a lot of buzz to it. Let's just call it maybe 2023 might be the year of the middleweight. Chimaev might be moving up. Alex Pierre, if he can do the damn thing against Izzy, that might be very entertaining. Guys, Bo Nickel is now a middleweight and doing big things. I don't think he's going to get a title shot, but soon, he's just going to rise up. How about Nickel wins in December? Maybe fights Till in spring, and then in the fall, fights a Strickland or Brunson or Hermanson. So a lot of big things can happen in the middleweight division. So Derek Brunson and Jack Hermanson was on this card first, and everyone was saying that can't be a main event. And I'm just going to disagree. I like that fight. I'm not going to say I like it more than Holland and Wonderboy Thompson. I think it's a very intriguing, cool fight. But Derek Brunson and Hermanson main evented a card in Florida before, that Tampa card maybe 4 or 5 years ago when he defeated Jacare. Derek Brunson is kind of like a Florida guy. He's down there in South Florida with Killcliff. There's just a lot. I like that fight. I think it's a good fight. I think it's a really good fight. Maybe it's not a sexy, maybe it's not a very entertaining main event, but those two guys can go. Those guys can go. So I just want to give I just thought that fight was getting kind of crapped on too much, and I don't think it deserved it. I like Hermanson and Brunson a lot. That's a really good fight. I probably will sneak out Brunson. Brunson beats everyone except for the top 2-3 guys. I like Derek Brunson in that spot. But Kevin Holland and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson was just announced. Very, very cool fight. I'm into it. I can't wait. And I just never believed that Kevin Holland at 29 years young, in the prime of his career, with a huge future in the sport. He's only tipping the surface. I think Holland's got 5 years left of big fights. He's that guy now too. He's starting to become a guaranteed main event. He's starting to become must-see TV. And Kevin Holland versus Wonderboy. If Kevin Holland knocks out Wonderboy, that would be big for him in his career going forward. That would guarantee him a humongous fight in the welterweight division in 2023. You never know. It could be a Nate Diaz fight. Could be a Jorge Gamebred Masvidal fight. A lot of big stuff can happen for Kevin Holland. So there we go. Kevin Holland, Wonderboy Thompson, December 3rd, Orlando, Florida. I'm Dave Van Auken. Go check out the MMA Shark. We're out.